That's a bit different.
Your turn, Yu-Gi boy.
What is up, guys? This is AlintheaYoh coming at you with a card discussion today about a new Zing support card that's coming out. So, as you may have noticed already, there's a slight little change in my setup. I am now finally trying to use my green screen, so hopefully you can enjoy that. But without further ado, it is 9 branches of the Zing. It is a brand new counter trap that has come out and been announced for the Zings, and it's a pretty decent one. So, the effect is, when a spell or trap or monster effect is activated while you control a Zing card, negates that effect, and if you do, shuffle that card into the deck, then destroy one other Zing card you control. So it's a very interesting card effect if you ask me. Zings now have a searchable kind of solemn judgment, or Infernity Barrier is probably the best one to say, that then shuffles the card back into the deck. So for example, if someone summons out a Dante and they activate their effect, you're just like, nope, I'm gonna negate that, shuffle that back into the deck, and then I'm going to pop a card and benefit off it. Now the really good thing about it is the fact that it says that you only have to control a Zing card, so that simply means monsters, pendulums, and also the field spell, I think. I can't actually remember if that field spell's allowed. Technically counts. Anyway, there are a lot of cards this can work with. Obviously, all of the traps, all of the monsters, and the spell cards if you really want to use them. It's just a really nice card in general, if you ask me. It helps both the Zefraxi build and also the Pure build. Pure build obviously will just sit there and grind you out with floodgates, and also just the sheer amount of advantage that it can produce, as well as just vomiting out big boss monsters that have a ridiculous amount of immunities. But then also there's a Zefraxi build, which always has Divine Strike cards that you banish it from the top of your deck to negate something. You also have this, and let's not forget this card is searchable because it is a Zing card. It's actually really nice to see the Zings haven't been forgotten about, because as you all know, it's one of my favorite archetypes, simply because it is a synchro-based build, and it is just something that in general gets you thinking a little bit. Some can argue that it is a bit of a helmet build, because you know, you just have a lot of back row, you have a lot of monsters and big boss monsters. It can easily be stopped, but I digress. Overall, this is just a really nice card. I like the fact it's called 9 branches. I would have think the better name probably would have been 9 paths of the Zing. And if you're wondering why it says 9, there are 9 Zing monsters, so that basically explains why. The card art's pretty cool as well. It's pretty blurry currently, but it does look pretty sick if you ask me. And overall, I think it's pretty solid. It is nice that the fact it isn't just a negate and destroy and send it to the graveyard, because they're kind of a little bit boring right now, and to add something extra, that little bit of spice into the deck, into the card, by saying you shuffle it back in, that's really, really nice. And then being able to destroy one of your other Zings, it's pretty decent, because then you can profit off of the actual effect, because it doesn't miss the timing, simply because the last thing to happen is the Zing monster will get destroyed. Interestingly, with the actual card effect, it does say that, and if you do shuffle that card into the deck, then destroy one other Zing card you control. I'm unsure how the ruling works depending on the wording right now, because it says when a spell or trap card is activated while you control a Zing card, then later on it says destroy one other Zing card you control. I assume that's there just to say that you can't destroy this card, you can't target the same card. Then that will basically be a complete free cost that you don't have to pay, really. I assume, for example, the other Zing card that's face up on your side of the field can still be destroyed. It's not saying I have a Suwani and also a creation up on my side of the field. It's not saying that because I've said, oh, I target the Suwani, I have to target the creation to be destroyed. I'm pretty sure it's just the way that it's worded right now, that you can still destroy that same Suwani. It's simply meaning that you can't destroy 9 branches of the Zing. So I want to know what you guys think of 9 branches of the Zing. Do you think it's a really good card? Do you think it's pretty interesting? Or do you just think it's not really actually going to help any build? Which do you think it might go best in? The Zefraxi build or the Pure build? So as I said, let me know down in the comment section below. Make sure to give me a like, comment, subscribe, and make sure to stay tuned for some interesting things with my new green screen.